Okay guys, so I decided to build a Nod tech deck that kind of revolved around the Widowmaker Centurion combo, which is a little similar to the Wolverine Titan combo that you get from GDI. Now, I'm not saying it's got the most insane win rate in the world, but I have been struggling to make Nod tech work, and I actually quite like playing this deck. It does have its weaknesses, and I'm going to go through those weaknesses first. So we're going to go to my match history, and I'm going to show you a game that I lost to a guy from Brosev. And what you'll find is that the Phantom is the interchangeable unit, and the Phantom can help make up for some of the weaknesses that you're facing. So, for instance, this here, if this was a set of flame troopers, I probably could have come back in this game. However, it was not a set of flame troopers, it was a Phantom, and I didn't really have a good way of dealing with the jump jet and a missile spam. Not going to watch the whole game, just going to show you exactly what I mean when it comes to what not to do with this deck. Now, I've been seeing Blade open Double Harvester a lot, but he can protect that Double Harvester with Missile Troopers. I decided to open Double Harvester on this map. I'm going to speed it up. And this is not a great map for Double Harvester, because you have to get your Harvester to go all the way down to the bottom. And it makes it difficult for you to get that Double Harvester Tiberium income coming. So you can see here, he opens into Missile Troopers. He notices that I have a Harvester right at the end. He immediately responds by going for Jump Jets. This is where my deck starts to struggle. We don't have a good answer to Jump Jet or to Missile Trooper spam, and even though I have to boost my Cyber Wheels, they just do not last long against this onslaught of Jump Jets. As soon as he gets a single Harvester out of this situation, he is going to be spamming me with Jump Jets, and he's already on his way to doing so. Really cleverly went into a Pitbull. I don't have any good answers to a Pitbull Jump Jet Trooper spam, and you can see my Harvester is just boxed in, nowhere to go, and it's very, very easy for him just to clean up whatever I've got. This was a bad way to open the deck. I'm not going to go through the whole game because this was just a dismal loss from this point onwards because my Tiberium income was completely slaughtered. Never open Double Harvester on a map like this where it's very, very difficult to get your Harvesters in position, and it's very difficult to defend your Harvesters. In fact, this probably was a game where I might have actually just gone single Harvester, because it is possible to win with this deck on a single Harvester alone. So that is how I struggled with the early game, and that's where subbing out a Phantom for a set of Flame Troopers might have actually given me the ability to defend against this massive spam of Jump Jets. But this is a great Jump Jet map regardless, because of these rocks that you can see on the right hand side, and they can make it very difficult to lock them down. So that was the game that I lost, and that is a little bit of an indication of what not to do with this deck. Now let's look at some of the actual games that I won, because as you can see, there are some serious level advantages for me, but I'm going to watch this game. This is a guy called Junior. He's a pretty good player. His levels aren't too far away from mine, and we're going to try and go through some of the games and talk about what to do, what went well, and the way to play this deck in general. Don't think this deck is the best in the world, but I know a lot of people don't like just playing aggro all the time. I don't like playing aggro all the time, which is why I decided to go for a sort of a Nod tech deck combo, which has been working out quite well for me. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go scout with the Cyber Wheels. I want to see exactly what he's doing, because I haven't seen anything thrown at me. Now, I immediately see him open into a set of bikes. Now, what I do with my Cyber Wheels is I'm trying to stop him from going over to my Harvester. I'm just trying to buy some time by running my Cyber Wheels around the map. He immediately then says, okay, I'll go over to your Harvester, but I bought enough time to get into a Scorpion now. And so once my Scorpion's up, I have dominance versus a War Factory of just Cyber Wheels, just bikes. And his immediate answer is to go for the Scorpion himself. Now, what I can do here is I can try and double up and stack my Scorpions to make sure I win this particular duel. And I'm going to use my Cyber Wheels just to hold that pad at the back, because at the moment I'm currently in control of the game. I'm in control of the pads. Now, as a Double Harvester deck, I usually would want to be stalling things out, but I'm making the decision in this scenario that actually I'm doing pretty well. It's perfectly acceptable to go for the first missile in this scenario. And the bike spam, whilst is good, isn't going to win me the game, or isn't going to win him the game, versus a Scorpion spam that I was going with. And again, I'm just microing those set of Cyber Wheels away. They're really good pad holders for me. And now that I've got the first missile, this is a great time to go into my second Harvester. And I'm doing it without him noticing either, which is something else that's really important. I've gone into my second Harvester and he has got no vision on it, so he has no idea it's happened. My Tiberium income is pretty much untouched. He's kind of dealing with my Scorpion and my Cyber Wheel spam from this point forward. So I'm now pretty happily able to build up a Tiberium income that can get me towards the Centurion and the Widowmaker, which is what I'm saving up for right now, because those are going to allow me to deal with the laser squads pretty handily, and once I can get them on the field, they'll also deal with the attack bike spam pretty easily too. So the Widowmaker comes out, there we go, going to deal with the laser squad pretty nicely, and obviously his immediate response to a Widowmaker is going to be a Scorpion tank. I do have the remedy for that, however. I do have my Centurion, and once I get my Centurion online, it's a pretty simple job for me to just start spamming Centurions and Widowmakers because I have that massive Tiberium income going in my favor. And again, this is just like, it's a bit like the Wolverine Titan combo that you can get from GDI. It's just a really powerful combo that works very nicely. It deals with pretty much anything that comes its way. And the Widowmaker is also very good at dealing with Banshees, as you can see here. The Banshee can't get enough work done versus the Widowmaker. And I then even win that Widowmaker battle on the top side of the map versus the attack bikes, getting me the win. Now, obviously, I had a level advantage, but Junior is a good player, and he's not too far behind me in levels. His major mistakes was just not scouting after the first missile. He lost the first missile with attack bike spam, and unfortunately, in this meta, attack bike spam is going to lose you games. Really, you need to Scorpion spam, even though he's got 2 levels down on me on Scorpion. Sorry, that's the wrong game. Even though he's got a level down on me on Scorpions. Where is it? Oh, it's on the favorites. Yeah, even he's got a level down on me on Scorpions. Just like Scorpion spamming, as long as you can stack them and stack them properly, it's a good way to start to win. So I actually would have opened Scorpions instead of attack bikes versus my cyber wheels, because honestly, attack bikes actually aren't that good right now because of the dominance of Predators and Scorpions. Some of these diamond games were pretty good, specifically versus Maastricht. This was a really good game. I'll show you afterwards. I do want to quickly watch the first half of this game just to illustrate a point about playing tech decks. Even though we have massive level disadvantages, and I'm not going to really prey on that too much, I want to show you what not to do versus double harvester decks. Now, I played this game just after I got smashed by the jump jet trooper rush, so I learnt my lesson and decided to go for a sort of a cyber wheel opening. Now, as a laser squad, even versus a cyber wheels of that many levels up, you do win the 1v1 matchup. So he immediately tries to move in, sees my second cyber wheels built, and he's actually going to be very, very reluctant to take on my cyber wheels at this point in time. Now watch what I do with my cyber wheels compared to his laser troopers. Every time he's on the pad, I'm on the pad. Every time he's off the pad, I'm off the pad. I want that yellow or grey. Now, he must have an idea at this point that I'm going for double harvester, and because he's not pushing any further into my side of the map, I feel very safe to go for my second harvester at this point. I see the Banshee come out. I have a great response with my attack bikes, which are 3 levels above him, so let's not beat around the bush. They're going to crush that Banshee really quickly. But I want to just point out that if we just skip this to 4 times, he still hasn't found out that I've gone double harvester. And I get a Widowmaker out by the first missile, and that's just over. And if you look at his deck compared to my deck, it's just over from this point in time. Doesn't matter what my levels were, it's just over. Because he hasn't scouted my double harvester. He was too reluctant and too slow. And I don't know why he went for Banshee over just going for a Scorpion or an attack bike there. An attack bike would have worked fine versus my cyber wheels, as would have Scorpion. So don't do that versus double harvester deck. Always try and get information. Information is key. It will help you win your games. So don't do that versus a guy who's going to go double harvester. Or do that if you're playing double harvester. Keep that first missile yellow or grey because it buys you time, and time is your greatest asset when you're playing a double harvester deck. So I showed you the loss. This is a great game. I'm going to watch this one versus Maastricht, because he really gave me a good run for my money in this particular game. And this is not, again, the map pool that I'm playing on in Masters isn't a great map pool for double harvester, which is why you're very rarely going to see me go double harvester as an opener, because it's so difficult to defend when the Tiberium pools are so far apart. I mean, I've got 4 Tiberium pools really far apart. So he goes into a buggy. I'm not really sure why people are opening buggy. I'm guessing it's because people are opening into shocks or flames versus people quite often, but it's also just like a start that you can get that isn't cyber wheels. So if you don't have high level cyber wheels, I guess a lot of people are opening buggy. So my immediate response into this scenario is to go for the Scorpion. The Scorpion is obviously a really good way to deal with attack bikes. It deals with buggies really nicely too. Now I see him go for lasers. The problem with this deck, and you can see him start to build up lots of lasers, the problem with this deck is it doesn't really have a good answer to laser or jump jet trooper spam, which is why getting in flame troopers maybe instead of phantoms is a really good idea. So what I want to do is try and distract the laser squad with my cyber wheels as I send my Scorpion in, because I do want to make sure that I contest this first missile. I'm very happy to give up this first missile So give up a Scorpion just to make sure I'm delaying this first missile for as long as possible. And you can see here that he's gone for a Banshee. Now my best response to a Banshee is going to be either attack bikes or it's going to be Phantom. In this scenario, it's going to be the Phantom. Now watch what I do with my Scorpion. This is actually kind of cute. Basically dodge in and out to sort of just delay the missile with my Scorpion, trying to keep it yellow as long as physically possible, just to try and take down some of that attack bike squad. I have to boost my bikes to get on to that bottom platform, and now it's going to be about bike spamming. This is actually a really tense first missile, and honestly, Masterich played this really well. I have had a lot of work to do to try and get myself back into this game, but I have delayed the missile until around 2 minutes, which for a tech deck is a really good plan. I'm also only on a single harvester, as you may have noticed, so the natural Tiberium income is kind of what's giving me my income at this point in time. Now I know right here that it's very unlikely that I'm going to win the missile, simply because unfortunately I kind of dealing with a Banshee spam and dealing with a laser spam as well. But I just managed to, with a boosted set of side wheels, get the first missile, which is insane. That was an insane defense of the first missile for someone running a tech deck on a single harvester. And now I have plenty of time to play with. And again, all you need to do with the Phantom, if you've got no other targets other than the Banshee, just move that Phantom into range and it will automatically attack the right target. So I actually very rarely get the opportunity to move into the tech portion of my game this time around. I'm actually playing a 4-card deck, but luckily playing it well enough so that I don't actually need to rely on my tech at this point. Now, I have got a serious amount of Tiberium coming in on a single harvester, so that's going to give me enough time to go towards the Widowmaker, which honestly is my best response to the amount of laser squads I'm seeing thrown out here, because again, I don't have a good response to laser squads in my deck. So the Widowmaker is a cheap tech unit. It's only 200 Tiberium in total, and when I boost it, it's going to give me a really, really good set of outcomes versus laser squads. And you can see he's gone for the Scorpion, which is a really good response. I'm going to use my Scorpion, which he's not focusing, to get as much work done to it as possible. And as soon as the Centurion comes out, we're in a position where we can defend that second missile again. He really doesn't have the damage to deal with the Centurion easily enough, because Centurions, believe it or not, are quite beefy. I basically substitute my Phantom for Cyber Wheels on the top side of the map, and then I send my Cyber Wheels in to deal with another set of laser squads. And at this point, we really didn't need that much tech. We end up winning the game. Really, really good, solid game on a single harvester with this deck as well. All of it just about delaying that missile. And getting the first missile definitely really helped. But this guy was a really great opponent, and I'm really glad I played him, because it really made me work for that win. So yeah, this is a fun deck. I definitely recommend that you guys go and try it out. I've been playing it quite a lot. I've lost a few times. I lost to Satori. He was playing an Avatar deck. He just basically did what I did, but a bit better. Really, really good game. But yeah, I've been doing quite well with the deck overall. Lost a couple of games here and there, and like I said, never open double harvester on a map like that versus jump jet missile spam. You just can't win unless you're subbing out Phantom for Flame Troopers. But yeah, really enjoy playing it, and I hope you guys give it a go too.